Welcome to the Sold on Symphony podcast. This podcast is designed to help real estate professionals like you get ahead by connecting you to a wider network of industry experts. We invite them on the show to share their stories, their experiences, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Today, we have one of our own at Symphony Real Estate, Shantell Wilson. She's one of the most authentic guests we've had so far. She talks about her relationship with her husband and how after 8 years, he's still an encouraging force for her life and in her career. She's a mom of 3 at home, but in her career, she teaches home buying seminars. She's appeared on the local news several times, and she gives back to the community in some really meaningful ways. I was so encouraged and inspired by Shantell, and I know you will be too. So without further ado, let's get into our great conversation. So Shantell, thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. And it was on last minute, kind of. I sent you a text yesterday and you just happened to be available.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to have you on because as soon as I met you, as soon as you joined Symphony, I knew that I wanted to have you on to hear your story. And the fact that it happened so soon makes me really happy. Mm-hmm. So why don't you start by just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. A little bit about me. I am Shantell Wilson. I consider myself your favorite real estate agent. That's my slogan.
I love that. It kind of like assumes that you're already someone's agent. Yeah,
yes,
that's a good way to do it.
Yep. I'm a Buffalo native. Basically, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a real estate agent, and I just like to grow and try different things and do different things, basically.
Tell me about your kids a little bit.
Oh my gosh, you don't want to hear about that.
Well, I have 3 myself, so I'm all about it.
Yes, I have 3, 12, 11, and 4. The 4-year-old is a hoot. He is crazy.
The youngest. I have an 11, a 9, and a 3-year-old, so it's very similar. And our little one is just like, yesterday she had 2 popsicles and she like took one from one of her brothers and then she had my wife's milkshake and she was just holding them all at the same time. We're just like, third child.
Yes, exactly. My son loves popsicles and he steals our food occasionally too. Right. So, yeah.
Cool. And then, where are you in the Western New York area? Where do you live?
We live in South Buffalo.
Okay.
Yes. We bought in 2020. And that's literally been my first time out in South Buffalo. I grew up in Cheektowaga. I moved to Amherst, Williamsville, and then back to the city of Buffalo.
Okay.
And then I left. I went to Washington or Maryland, and then I went to Texas, and then I came back.
How long were you gone?
I went for college, so I was gone for about a total of probably like 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
The Buffalo magnet is real. People leave and they come back. Yeah.
Yes. It's home.
Yeah, it's home. It's, a lot of people who live here, grew up here, their family is here.
Support system.
I moved away for a little bit when I first got married. We had our first kid and we were back so quick to be by family. Yeah. There's something also about moving away from a place like Western New York and not knowing if you're going to come back. But then choosing to come back. Yeah. It's one thing to grow up in a place and you don't really have a choice. It's just kind of like where you were born. It's a whole nother thing to choose to come back.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I agree. It makes it a lot more meaningful.
Yeah.
So
yeah. For me, it was just, I need to be around my family. I was in Texas by myself. And I'm just like, I need to be home. Like I need to be around my family. And that was the biggest thing for me.
Right. And Texas is hot too.
It is hot. I liked it, but it is hot. You don't see a lot of people walking outside in the middle of the day.
Right, yeah. And they keep the air conditioning at like 40 or something. You walk in, you're like, oh my God.
But you need that.
Yeah. What about real estate? Like, when did you get involved? And, maybe a little bit about your journey, how you came here, from start to here.
So I remember when I got my second degree, one of my assignments in the class was, what do you want to do? And I actually went back once I got my real estate license, went back to that, and I read what I wrote, and it was like, I want to be a real estate agent. I want to flip houses.
That's what you wrote.
That's what I wrote. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even, know that I wrote that down. But me and my husband, we bought our home in 2020. And our real estate agent at the time was just graceful and poised. And I'm like, oh, it's inspiration to me. Like, I want to do what she's doing. And then the paperwork that I was doing just came easy to me. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. This process for us was easy. We had our ups and our downs, but it was an easy process. And I'm like, I feel like everybody should have this knowledge on purchasing a house, or let them know that it is obtainable. Like, it may not be easy all the time, but you can obtain this.
Yes.
So I think that's what drove me to go get my license, to help other people understand that you can have this dream of owning a home. You don't have to rent if this is what you want to do. So that's my biggest thing. I went through it myself, and now I'm ready to tell everybody, like, hey, you can have your own house. So yeah.
Real estate is such a, growing up, it's kind of this like out of reach type thing. It feels confusing. It feels like, will I ever be able to save up enough for that down payment, But when somebody talks with someone like you and they realize that it might not be so far out of reach as they thought, that's a really cool moment. And owning real estate, as we know, is one of the greatest builders of wealth in someone's life. And if somebody can get into it, that's when they start to see their net worth grow. That's when, it's a really cool thing to have. And it's been this very steady way for people to build wealth and then to pass it along
to their children and
grandchildren.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you have some partnerships, I think, with other community members that are helping with loans or different things too.
Well,
right?
yeah, I have a seminar coming up Saturday, and I partnered with 5 Star Bank, Takesha Mudzingwa. And that's just for that seminar. I'm hoping that, things will come in the future, more things. But right now I'm partnered with her. I'm partnered with Justin Hawkins, who's a credit repair specialist.
What is his brand again?
It's called Street Credit.
Yes, I saw that on the news when you were on the news.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So just partner with them and trying to build a relationship and grow so that we can continue to, help the community and pour and to give them that information. This is the first seminar of many, I'm hoping. So
yeah. Those relationships, the professional ones that a real estate agent builds, is so critical. Important. Because when people are getting into real estate, or when they're looking to buy a home or sell a home, the first person they think of is an agent. And a lot of people don't know a loan originator. They don't know a real estate attorney. They don't know contractors, all this stuff. But I feel like most people know 1 or 2 agents. And so we are the people who assemble the team.
Yep, absolutely.
And so if we have a good network, then it makes us look better. It makes their businesses grow as well. And it helps the client so much,
Yep. They don't have to go here and here looking for different people. Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Before you came on, I asked if you would bring a little kind of show and tell type thing, just so that we can get to know you a little bit. Did you bring something today?
I did.
Let's see it.
Brought 2.
We'll
I'm
let it slide
rebel.
this time.
So I brought my wedding album. I brought this because not just this day meant a lot to me. Just the relationship that I have with my husband means a lot to me. It keeps me motivated. I had no idea 8 years ago when I met this guy that he would be like a determining factor for pushing and growing me as much as, and he doesn't say much. That's the crazy. I think you met him.
I did. It's Chris, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't say much, but his own drive and his own passion and motivation for the things that he loves pushes me and grows me. That's what I mean by that. So there was a time where I was going for this exam and I watched him go through it. And it was a physical exam. And I watched him get up at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. And at that time, I'm like, this dude is crazy. Like, why is he getting up just to go to the gym or just to go run? I would never. So then it was when it was my time, I would get up at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And then I started adopting the things that I seen him put down and how he I kept failing. That's what it was. I kept failing. And then I adopted all the things that he laid out. And I'm like, oh, there was a reason why he, did this. Like there was a method to his madness. And then I succeeded by following his blueprint. Wow. And we've been together 8 years. And I want to say like last year was the light bulb that was just like, he literally is your blueprint for, moving forward and growing. Like he knows it. He doesn't say much, but his actions show it. So I brought this because of that, because that means a lot to me.
That is incredible. And, like I've been married for, 13 years. Oh, wow. And when we met, there was total infatuation, totally
honeymoon
into each other.
Stage.
Couldn't even like do anything wrong in each other's eyes. And a lot of people get further along in their marriage and they think, where did that go? But I really do believe now, being over a decade in, that like true love is the everyday.
Yes.
It's waking up every day, choosing to be with that person, to support that person, to be supported by that person, and to go through stuff. Because life, you're on social media and stuff, everyone's life looks great. Everyone has a lot of things that they've been through.
Yes.
Way more than they would even say.
Yeah.
And to walk through life with someone through all the ups and downs is so there's no words for it.
It's something that I appreciate.
Yeah.
I appreciate the times that we're up. I appreciate the times that we're down, because I look for the lesson in everything. And it just teaches me my kids teach me lessons every day. My husband teaches me. I look for lessons in everything. So, yeah.
Cool. All right, what else you got?
The other thing is my degree, my bachelor's degree. I brought this because it just reminds me to keep going. Like I'm in school right now, I'm getting my master's degree.
Good for you.
Thank you. And I hate to say my age, but I'll be 36 in a couple days or a couple weeks. Or whatever. October 6th is my birthday.
You can say your age when you look younger than your age. So
I got my degree later on in life. When I left high school, I went to college, but I didn't finish. And my dreams were to be a doctor and do this. And when I look back on it, sometimes you feel like a failure. Sometimes you feel like, I didn't do what I wanted to do. And I wanted to be a doctor because my parents were pushing me to be a doctor. And I love life now. Like, I feel like I found happiness. I feel like I found like the golden ticket. Like, hey guys, this is life. Like I brought this because it just reminds me to keep going, no matter what your past looks like, or no matter what you had drawn out. Life is going to shift you. Things are going to change. It's not this straight and narrow pathway. And I love life now. I'm happy. I'm enjoying the small stuff. I'm enjoying the big stuff. And it just reminds me to keep going and go after everything that you want or wanted. And that's...
Is it kind of like a reminder, like, look, you did this, you can do anything?
Absolutely.
I love that. What is the degree in?
Business.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was in general management. I'm going for my MBA. And listen, if I'm a doctor, and because I didn't understand that I enjoy school. I like school. I like learning. I read every single day just to absorb and get more information added to this brain of mine. But yeah, I feel like I used to call myself like a professional. I don't need a job. I'm a professional school goer.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I brought those two because they mean the most to me.
Those are both very meaningful. I'm glad you brought both and broke the rules a little bit on that.
Thank you.
Frank's Basement Systems, the experts in all things basementy. Frank's has been serving homeowners and businesses throughout the greater Buffalo and Rochester area since 1985. Frank's offers superior basement waterproofing, foundation repair, and crawl space repair solutions. They understand the delicate nature of a real estate transaction. With the Frank's Real Estate Response Team, there's never a fee, 24 to 48 hour response times, no upselling, scare tactics, or high-pressure sales. Frank's Basement Systems, when the sale of your home depends on the integrity of your foundation. what are your future plans? What are you hoping to do with these degrees? And, do you have any, dreams for the future?
To be honest, with my degrees, I am getting them because last year I made a vow to myself that I would get everything that I felt like I lost. I would go after everything that I didn't get. Dropping out of college, right when I was going, I felt like, at that moment, I'm too old, I can't go back and do it. And that is far from the truth. Mm-hmm. So I don't have any significant plan for it. I'm just getting it just because I want to and because I felt like I lost something. So I'm going to go back in and grasp everything that I felt like I lost.
Gosh, that is so inspirational. And I don't mean that just to, blow smoke. That is huge. Mm-hmm. And I really do believe that whether you know exactly what you're going to be doing later or not, that it'll all come together.
Absolutely.
For you. I'm excited to see. Absolutely. I hope that we're, working together long enough that I can see all that success that you have in the future, because I already see what you're doing now, and it's big.
Yeah.
So, what about, you had talked about how you wanted to get into real estate so that other people could have the same experience that you did when you were buying your home. Mm-hmm. Do you have a quick story to share of something that was really meaningful to you, a client that you helped, or, something that was just like impactful to you as a real estate salesperson?
I would say every transaction that I've had so far has been impactful. Everyone is different. None is the same. From my first transaction was with my pastor and first lady. And listen, it's brutal. Like trying to find people a house. Certain people have a deadline. Like, I want to be in a house by this time, or I want to sell my house by this time. And you're just fighting to get what you have to. What I learned about real estate is it's not about you. And you have to take all selfishness out. You're fighting for somebody else's wants, dreams, aspirations. So I fought like heck to get them with negotiating and trying to get a different price with this or that. But every transaction that I've had has been very enlightening for me, whether it's, I'm not going to say an annoying client, but rather if it's an annoying transaction, or somebody's not doing something you want, or if there's another real estate agent who's bugging you to death, it's how you look at things. If you look at it with the negative eye, you're going to get negativity. If you look at it with a positive eye, it's going to be positive for you. Mm-hmm. So I loved every transaction that I've had so far. And I look forward to what's to come.
Yeah. Are you still going to that same church with the same pastor and first lady? Okay, I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah, they didn't kick me out.
I'm sure there was a little bit added pressure knowing that you were working for a pastor, like the person that you maybe look up to.
Not for the buying of their house, but they also are selling their house. So I'm in that transaction right now.
Oh, okay, you're currently doing that.
Yeah, and if we weren't going to go the route that we went, if we would have had to sell it in an open market, that's where my nerves came in. Because I'm like, oh, this house is worth this much. This is what we should. And that's always scary for me to say, let's post your house for $350,000. And then what if we don't get anybody that bites? That's very scary to me.
Yeah.
Because it shows that, okay, well, I didn't really perform like I was supposed to perform. And that's what gets me. But we went a different route, and it's good now. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely an art to that pricing thing.
Yes.
I mean, Zillow does and these big companies, they do like a pretty decent job. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of communities in Buffalo where Zillow will take the estimate of, let's say, Kenmore, because that's where I live. I'm just very familiar with it. Mm-hmm. In Kenmore, Zillow will take all the houses that have sold in Kenmore, same square footage, same bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. And they'll come up with an average to give you an idea of what your house is worth. But in Kenmore, it's very specific to what street you're on. The closer you are to military, it impacts your value.
Yeah.
And so you need someone who is an expert to come in and like understand those nuances and to be able to give you a better idea.
Exactly.
And if you price too high and it doesn't sell, then you look bad to the clients.
Right.
And if you price too low and you get 20 offers, then all the agents are mad at you. You know?
Right.
So it's an art to get it right.
Absolutely. I didn't understand that until Michael broke it down to me. Like, you know, I came from somewhere else, but I didn't understand like that competitiveness with pricing until Michael literally sat down with me and was like, da 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 da, and spelled it out for me. And I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah. You know, when I started, I don't want to make it too much about me, but it's just a funny story. It was like right at the height of, you know, the interest rates were the lowest they'd pretty much ever been, 2.9 in some cases. And we would say you could sell a doghouse for $300,000 with 20 offers at that time. And I actually had the idea, because I hadn't been through all the ups and downs in the market. I thought, why do we even price the house? Why don't we just list every house for $1?
Oh, gosh.
It's going to sell for what it's worth, right? People are going to come and buy it. And I was talking to more like seasoned agents and they were like, you know, just like trying to be nice to me. They're like, that's not how it normally is, you know? But is there anything that you have on the horizon that you would like to promote? Consider this your spot to promote your website, your social media, any events you have coming up. Now, just keep in mind, your episode isn't going to come out until like mid-October. So if we're thinking out like this weekend, I know you have something going on, but by the time people hear it, they're not going to be able to go to it. So you got anything like...
Well, I do have that seminar coming up Saturday, September 28th, but that's the first of many. Okay. I plan on this one is focused on fixing your credit. So let's start here. Let's go on a journey, basically. The next one may be about the process while you're in the middle of purchasing a home. The next one may be after you purchase a home. How do you get your roof fixed? Who do you go to for that? Who do you go for your windows? Who do you go for if your basement flooded? Like, I just have ideas for more workshops that are not just centered on, okay, you're here, you need a 620, like you need a loan officer to pre-approve, like that.
Right. Yeah.
Boring. Like
thanks for coming. You don't qualify. Grab a cookie on your way out.
Right. So no, I want it to be more interactive and people to actually grasp the information. So I'm going to start planning more of these. October 5th, I Northland Workforce Training Center. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No.
But they wrote a check for me to feed the homeless. So they helped out in a big way with that. And I plan on, doing more of that, just giving back to the community. And I hate to say feed the homeless, but feed our community. What else do I have in store? Tapestry Middle School asked me to do a program. I presented something to them and they asked me to do a program. It's called a life skills program, after school 3 to 3:45 for students 5 through 8 to learn about home buying, credit, entrepreneurship, careers. So I have a whole curriculum and I'm going to make it like what is it called? Like lifelike. Like they'll come in, they'll do a vision board, a small one. I'll get what they want out of life and we'll work on that and capitalize on what you need to get to that point of what you want in life.
Kids need that.
They do.
My sixth grader was like, why do we learn some of the stuff that we learn in school? I'm never going to use it. And I used to say that too. And no one ever really gave me a good answer when I would say this stuff. But it actually is true. Yeah. He's like, why aren't we learning about how to handle money and how to start a business and all that? And I'm like, I don't know. Like you should actually be learning that stuff.
So my goal is to start here. See how this is 6 weeks. I only asked for 6 weeks because I don't want to put too much on myself.
Yeah.
See how that forms. And then my goal is just to attack every school and get that information into every school. Yes. Not everybody wants to work a 9 to 5. And I think that's what we have to understand. Stop trying to put people in boxes. Some people want to be an entrepreneur. Let's teach that. Let's teach career and entrepreneurship. Let's teach how to build your credit. Let's teach that at the age of 18, you can get your real estate license. Let's teach that you can register to vote at 16, be pre-registered, and then go out and vote at 18. I feel like our youth needs this information. So that's my biggest drive with this program. I also have a nonprofit that I'm forming called,
my God, the list goes on.
called Guiding Light. That is just a mentorship and life skills for the youth, ages 8 to 18. And even
Very
underneath that, my son's 4, he's going to learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that I want to do. My brain, I always call it squirrel syndrome because I'm like,
Yeah. Right. Where can people find information about this stuff? On your website, social media?
So I am on social media, all platforms as Shantell Wilson. My website is shantellwilson.com.
We'll put that information here or maybe in the show notes.
But as far as what's to come, I'll put it, I got to get used to just putting stuff on Facebook. I kind of like to handle everything myself, and I'm trying to get out of that and just build a team and, have people that are like-minded surrounded with me who want to go in the same direction. So it should be out there soon on social media.
Well, I look forward to seeing all that. And just as maybe a parting thing, there's agents who are starting now. Mm-hmm. They just got their license. Mm-hmm. They have not even done anything, right? Mm-hmm. If you could go back and give yourself advice when you first started, or if you could give advice to a brand new agent walking out of school right now, what would it be?
Run.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding.
That's actually not bad advice.
I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. It would be to be yourself, be authentic. Yeah. I did fail my real estate agent test 3 times. Keep going. Don't stop. There could have been times where I was just like, and there was times where I was like, I'm not doing this. It's not for me. Mm-hmm. I failed. And it's rewarding in its own way. Yeah. And whatever you put into something, that's the result you're going to get. So if you go to the gym once a year, you're not going to be pretty fit. But if you go 5 times a week and you eat right and whatever you're pouring into yourself, you're going to get out. And I look at that the same way with real estate. Mm-hmm. If you pour into it, you're going to get results. If this is something that you're passionate about, go for it. Just like any career, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Just keep going, keep a positive mind, and that's basically it.
So your actual advice is don't run.
Right. Stick with it. Stick with it.
That's one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
When I first started, a lady said, 90% of agents don't last past their first year. Mm-hmm. And I think that's actually true. Mm-hmm.
I can see why,
it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
And it's an uphill battle. Mm-hmm. But I've seen time and time again, you stick with it. Mm-hmm. You don't give up. Mm-hmm. You put the energy in. Mm-hmm. Those returns come. Yep.
And I think that's our generation is a generation of run. Our generation is, that got hard. I don't want to do it. Yeah. And I think that's why most marriages feel like, it got hard. We got in an argument. I don't want to do it. And I'm just in this season where it's like, keep going no matter if it gets hard. And my faith is in God. So I literally depend on him for everything. So when it gets hard for me, I just go to him. And I feel like that helps me out a lot. But whatever your is, lean on that, figure it out, and keep going.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, fantastic advice. And it sounds like you're doing so much, and everything it feels very intentional. You have a clear vision for your future. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm excited to see all the things that you're going to do. And I'm happy for the things you've done so far. Mm-hmm. And I'm especially happy that you joined us today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you, Shantell.
Me. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right.
Hey, Erik Arnett here. If you're thinking about making a change in your real estate career, Symphony Real Estate might be just what you're looking for. We've got the tech, the support, and a team that's always in your corner. And our professional development isn't just about more training and more meetings. It's about real-world knowledge that helps you level up your skills and your confidence. If you're curious, let's talk. Call me or text me at 716-213-8784 or visit symphonyofhomes.com.